Only the chosen have these 6 hidden marks. Do you have them? Hello, my dear friends. I want you to pause for a moment. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself this. What if there are signs in your life that only the truly chosen ones can carry? And what if, just maybe, you are one of them? Now, I know this sounds mysterious. Maybe even a little strange, but hear me out. There are marks, hidden but unmistakable, that God places on the hearts of those who are called to do something extraordinary. It's not about being perfect, not about having all the answers. It's about a deeper calling, a divine purpose that's written in the fabric of your soul. The question I want to ask you today is simple, yet profound. Do you have these marks? I'm not talking about physical traits. This isn't about the way you look or what others see. I'm talking about something far more significant. These are marks of the heart, marks of the spirit, that only those truly chosen by God carry. I believe that you are here for a reason. I believe that you too are chosen in some way. So let's embark on this journey together and discover if you carry these 6 hidden marks. Because once you understand them, you'll see your life with new eyes. You'll begin to understand not just who you are, but why you are here. Are you ready to find out? Let's begin. Part 1. Understanding the chosen. Before we dive into the 6 hidden marks, we need to first understand what it means to be chosen. This isn't just some abstract idea or a concept reserved for people we think of as spiritual giants. No, my friends, to be chosen is not about being perfect or being set apart in some way that makes you special over others. To be chosen is something far deeper and much more personal. You see, in the Bible, God has always had a way of calling people into a divine purpose. He called Abraham, a simple man, and told him to leave everything he knew to embark on a journey of faith. He called Moses, who stuttered and doubted his worth, to lead an entire nation to freedom. He called the 12 disciples, ordinary men, to follow him and carry the message of salvation to the world. And do you know what all these people had in common? They didn't think they were anything special. They were simply obedient to God's call. And that's the beauty of being chosen. It's not about being extraordinary by the world's standards. It's about being willing to listen, to hear God's call, and to step into the role He has for you, even if you don't fully understand it at first. Being chosen means you have a divine purpose, something greater than yourself, a call to serve, to love, and to reflect God's light in a world that desperately needs it. I want you to stop for a moment and ask yourself, have I ever felt like there was something more to my life? Something bigger than what I see with my eyes? Something beyond my circumstances? That is the whisper of God calling you, saying, you are chosen. But here's the thing. Everyone is chosen in their own way. Yes, you too. And the marks I'm about to share with you, the signs that identify those who are called, are not for the perfect or the famous. They are for the ordinary, the humble, the ones who choose to listen and say yes. These marks are the proof of God's work in you, transforming you into His hands and feet in this world. So now that we've set the stage, let's talk about the 6 hidden marks that you might already carry. These are the signs that show you are, in fact, chosen. Part 2. The 6 hidden marks. 1. A deep sense of compassion. Let me start with the first mark, compassion. If you have ever felt an overwhelming urge to help someone, to ease their pain, or to simply be there for them without expecting anything in return, then you already carry the first mark. Compassion isn't just about feeling sorry for someone. It's about feeling their pain in your own heart and being moved to action. Think about Jesus for a moment. Time and time again, He was moved with compassion. Whether it was when He healed the sick, comforted the grieving, or fed the hungry, His compassion wasn't just a passing emotion. It was a deep, powerful force that motivated everything He did. And it's the same for those who are chosen. Compassion is not just something you do. It's something that shapes who you are. It's that instinctive feeling that stirs within you when someone is suffering, even if you don't know them. The chosen ones have hearts that can't help but break for the broken. They can't walk by without offering help, even if it's just a listening ear or a simple prayer. Ask yourself this: do you feel compassion for those around you? When someone is in need, is your heart moved to act, to help, or to pray? That, my friends, is the first mark of being chosen. Compassion isn't just a nice thing to have. It's a divine gift, a calling to reflect God's love and care in the world. 2. A quiet, unshakable faith. Now let's talk about the second mark, faith. But not just any faith, friends. I'm talking about a quiet, unshakable faith. A faith that doesn't depend on your circumstances or the waves of life crashing against you. This is the kind of faith that allows you to stand firm, even when everything around you is shaking. Do you remember the story of the disciples in the boat during the storm? They were terrified, convinced they were going to drown. But Jesus, sleeping peacefully in the back of the boat, woke up and calmed the storm. He turned to them and asked, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" You see, faith isn't about avoiding the storms of life. It's about trusting that Jesus is in the boat with you, even when it feels like the waves might swallow you whole. And that, my friends, is the mark of the chosen. The chosen ones have faith that goes beyond the temporary. Their faith is rooted in something deeper, the unshakable knowledge that God is in control no matter what happens around them. It's not always loud or visible. It's a quiet confidence, a peace that surpasses all understanding. Ask yourself, do you have that kind of faith? The kind that holds steady in the face of fear and uncertainty? That's the second mark of the chosen, faith that remains even when the storm is fierce. 3. A heart of service. The third mark is a heart of service. Let me be clear. This is not about being self-righteous or doing good deeds for recognition. No, the heart of service is about serving others without expecting anything in return. It's about being humble enough to wash someone's feet, metaphorically speaking, without feeling superior. Remember when Jesus washed the feet of his disciples? He wasn't just teaching them humility. He was showing them that true greatness comes through serving others. The chosen are not called to rule over others, but to serve them, to lift them up, and to walk alongside them, especially in their times of need. Do you serve others, not because you have to, but because your heart can't help but give? If you find joy in serving, even when no one is looking, then this is one of the marks you carry. This mark is a reflection of God's love for humanity, a love that gave everything for us, and now asks us to give too. Ask yourself, do you have a heart of service? Do you find fulfillment in helping others without expecting any reward? That, my friends, is the third mark, the mark of a heart that serves like Christ's heart. 4. A peace that transcends understanding. Let's move on to the fourth mark, a peace that transcends understanding. Now, I want you to think for a moment. When everything around you is chaotic, whether it's family struggles, work pressure, or the weight of the world, can you still find peace? Not just a temporary feeling of calm, but a peace that holds you no matter what's going on. This peace, my friends, is not something we can manufacture on our own. It's the kind of peace that only comes from God. It's the peace that Jesus spoke of when he said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives." John 14:27. The peace Jesus offers isn't dependent on the circumstances. It's a peace that doesn't make sense to the world, because it stands firm even in the midst of trials and storms. You see, the chosen ones are marked by this peace. It's the peace that calms your heart when everything else is falling apart. It's the peace that guards your mind, that keeps you steady even when you feel like you should be overwhelmed. And it's not a peace that you can simply wish into existence. It's a gift from God. I've seen this peace in my own life and in the lives of others, and I've come to understand that this peace doesn't mean life is easy. It means that with God by your side, you can endure anything. This peace holds you close to God's heart. So ask yourself, Do you have this peace? Is it a peace that stands firm no matter what life throws your way? If you do, then you are marked by God's love and grace, and you're walking in the presence of His Spirit. 5. A desire for justice. Now let's talk about the fifth mark, the desire for justice. I'm not talking about human justice, the kind that sometimes seeks revenge or retribution. I'm talking about the justice that God desires. This is the justice that seeks to make things right, to restore balance, to bring healing to the broken. It's the kind of justice that doesn't just see a wrong and stay silent. It's the kind of justice that demands action, that speaks up for those who cannot speak for themselves, and calls out injustice in all its forms. Throughout the Bible, we see God's heart for justice. He was the advocate for the poor, the oppressed, and the marginalized. When the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt, God raised up Moses to free them. When the prophets spoke, they didn't just offer words of comfort. They challenged kings and rulers, calling them to righteousness, fairness, and truth. But what does justice look like today? In a world that is so often divided by hate, inequality, and suffering, the chosen are those who fight for the dignity and worth of every human being. Whether it's standing up for the oppressed, advocating for the voiceless, or ensuring that truth is spoken in places where lies thrive, those who are chosen carry a fire for justice. Think about it. Do you feel anger when you see injustice? Do you feel compelled to do something, to speak out, or to support those who are hurting? If you have this desire for justice, you are marked by a divine calling to reflect God's heart for the oppressed. The chosen do not sit idly by when there is injustice. They rise, they speak, they act. Justice, my friends, is not just a human pursuit. It is God's will for His creation, and those who are chosen are marked by this longing to restore what is broken. 6. A radical love for all. And finally, the sixth and most profound mark, the mark of radical love. This is the kind of love that goes beyond what we think is normal. It's not just loving the people who love you. It's loving even those who hurt you. It's loving the broken, the lost, and even the ones who have turned their backs on you. It's loving when it's inconvenient, loving when it's difficult, and loving when the world tells you it's not worth it. Jesus didn't just love His friends and family. He loved His enemies. He loved those who rejected Him, who betrayed Him, who condemned Him to the cross. That is radical love, the kind that doesn't judge, the kind that doesn't put conditions on its affection. It's the kind of love that sees beyond the surface, beyond the mistakes and failures, and loves people for who they truly are, beloved children of God. To be marked by this radical love means you're willing to lay down your own desires and comfort for the sake of others. It means you'll forgive when you'd rather hold on to bitterness. It means your heart is open to everyone, without exceptions or conditions. Ask yourself, do you love like that? Do you love the way Jesus loves? Do you love the unlovable, serve the undeserving, and show mercy to those who may not show mercy to you? That is the final mark, the mark that shows you are walking in the footsteps of Jesus, loving the way He loves. Conclusion: a call to self-examination. My friends, I've shared with you the 6 hidden marks that show you are chosen: compassion, faith, service, peace, justice, and love. These are not just qualities to admire in others. These are not just lofty ideals to think about. These are marks that God places in our hearts when we choose to follow Him, when we choose to live out His will on earth. But I want to ask you, do you have these marks? I'm not asking if you have them perfectly, but are they present in your life? Are you striving for them? Because the truth is, when you look at your own heart, you may see areas where you're already carrying these marks. Perhaps you didn't even know it. God is working in you, and these marks are signs that He's shaping you into His image. Let me remind you of something very important. Being chosen is not about being better than anyone else. It's about being called to serve, to love, and to reflect God's kingdom on earth. You are chosen not because you are perfect, but because God has a unique plan for your life, and He's equipping you with these marks to fulfill that plan. So I ask you to reflect today. Do you have these 6 hidden marks? Don't look at them as a list of things to check off. Look at them as invitations, invites from God to grow deeper in your relationship with Him and to reflect His love to the world around you. And if you're not there yet, don't worry. We're all on a journey. God's grace is abundant and He is patient with us. So keep seeking Him, keep striving, and know that you are loved, you are chosen, and you are never alone on this journey.